Great. Well, it's 10:02, so we are going to go ahead and get started. In just a second, I'll intro our event, but I just want to welcome all of you who've come. Thank you very much for coming today. We feel like we've got a fun and informative event, and we are super, super happy to have Marci Straughter here hosting, and we know you'll have a lot of fun with her. Marci, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Y'all ready to keep it cooking with me? All right, I got some extra flavor for y'all. This is my round 2 event. So we're about to show you some new technology. Get ready, y'all. I got some new stuff on my menu. Let's get this rolling, George. Let's get this popping.
I love it. All right, I am going to share a quick intro presentation with everybody, where I'll kind of take you through the structure of our event today. So this little intro is what I'm doing right now. This will be just a couple of minutes. Next, we'll have Marci's Tech Spotlight, where we'll cover some of those new things that she was just mentioning that she wants to share with you today. And she and I will talk about those, and we'll get to show you some little videos from when I got to go and visit Marci, which was a lot of fun. And then really the vast majority of our hour today, we intend to be questions and answers. So like we said, we want you to raise your hand if you want to come on and ask your question live. That is intended really for individuals and family members who've joined us here today. If you didn't ask a question when you registered, but you have one that you want to ask live, we hope you'll do that. Okay, I always like to mention just a couple of other little pieces of information about our program. The best place to go if you have questions about what we're doing with the Ohio Tech Ambassadors is to go to our website, ohiotechambassadors.org. Our schedule for events is there. You can register for the events that we have coming up, read about our Tech Ambassadors. So we hope you'll do that. We do have social media presences on both Facebook and Instagram where we're posting about things that we're doing. And we have a YouTube channel where we are posting the recordings of all of the events. I think this might be event number 7 that we've had so far since January. So you can always go to that YouTube channel and watch any event that you didn't get to attend live if you'd like to do that. And then there's some other little videos there as well. On any of those 3 platforms, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, all you have to do is just put in Ohio Tech Ambassadors, and you should find us right away. So you might know we have 5 Tech Ambassadors, and so we split the state of Ohio up into 5 regions. And the region that we are targeting today is the region where Marci lives, Central Ohio. So it's those counties in gray there, right in the middle of the state. And if you came from some other place in the state of Ohio, welcome to you too. And then real quick, we just want to mention our schedule of events. So we started back in January with our kickoff event. We had 1 event per region after that in February and March. Then we had a special event all together called Tech Ambassadors Listen. And then we are now in the middle of round 2 of our regional events. So today's is here with Marci, and you can see we'll have 1 per week for the next 3 weeks in round 2. And then we'll finish up with our statewide wrap-up event toward the end of May. Okay, so Marci is, if you are ready, we've got a presentation where she's gonna tell you about some technologies that she uses that she did not mention in her first round. You ready to go, Marci?
I'm ready to keep this popping, George. Let's give them some flavor and let's get this rolling. Y'all ready to go on a ride? We're about to take y'all on a ride. All right, George, start this engine.
All right. This is a really large presentation because we've got some fun videos in it. So this one may take a minute to open. By the way, if you didn't attend Marci's first round, She got to talk about her Ring doorbell. And what else was it that you talked about last time?
The Ring doorbell, the smart lock.
August smart lock, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we are ready. So here we are. This is Marci's Tech Spotlight. So if you joined us for her first event, you know Marci likes to cook. And so this is kind of her Tech Ambassador cookbook. All right. So Marci, you got 4 different sort of secret tech recipes you're going to share with people, right?
Yep, I'm gonna stir it up and cook it up with y'all.
All right. So we got Nest thermostat, a little look at how Marci cooks with Alexa. And then a couple of little special things that we didn't promote ahead of time. Her MedMinder and her Fire TV cube. Okay. Nest thermostat.
All right. I like my Nest thermostat because I get to, when I moved into my apartment, there was this old thermostat, so I couldn't really see it. And I would need staff's help. So my provider and my service coordinator came up with this idea for the Nest thermostat, and it turns different colors and it has big numbers.
Great. And
Right.
they can see it and control it remotely, right?
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah, they can control it. Like if I don't know how to do it, they or I do something wrong or something, they could fix it.
Great. And if it got too cold in the winter or too hot in the summer, they can see that, right?
Yeah, they
That's
can see that
important.
too. But they know how long, they know how I want my temperature to be.
Good. And then the last thing here is, right, you've got an app where you could control it even from your phone without getting up and walking over to it.
Yeah, I can control it, and I can use it from my phone. I will show you.
All right, let's give people a look at you doing that. Here we go.
Okay. This is my Nest thermostat, and it turns into, I can make it hot or a cold, but right now I have it at a medium size 74, and it keeps me warm and cool. But sometimes when I want to go real cool, I'll go to 71. Like in summer, I gotta have it at 71.
Okay. So it changes color when you change.
Yeah.
Does that tell you whether it's actually heating or cooling?
Yes.
Like right now, it's not doing either one?
Yeah. Okay, so the reason why I got this thermostat is because it's hard for me to see little numbers. And when I moved in, it was an old thermostat, and my staff had to control it for me. So my remote support provider and my service coordinator, with my waiver dollars, we got the Nest for me, which has big numbers, easy to see.
Awesome. And easy to control.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else you want to say about the thermostat, Marci?
It's a really good. Can you see this, George? This is my Nest thermostat.
Oh, hold on. I didn't mean to start that again. You want to show them the app there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. All right, so here is the Nest app. Okay, so here is, like, I have it at 71 right now because I'm not really cold or anything like that. So I keep it at 71. So it all depends, like, how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling hot and feeling cold, this is a really cool app to have because it also changes to blue, black, and it does a lot of stuff. And if you want to have it at a certain heat when you get to your door, you can try that too.
Great.
I think it's real important for in the winter.
Gotta stay warm. All right, so how about cooking with Alexa? So this is fun.
Ooh, cooking with Alexa. This is really fun. This is how I start my Marci's Keeping It Cooking cookbook.
Right.
By the way, if you don't follow me on Facebook, I got a lot of recipes. I especially like making Chinese food and Mexican food and soul food. I'm a California girl, so I really like my tacos.
There you go. Oh, that's one of my favorites too. All right, so we're going to get to see how you use Alexa in this video clip. Here we go.
I can also show you is my super duper machine.
Oh my gosh,
Air
what is that?
fryer.
That's your air fryer?
Yes. I can cook chicken, fish, steak. I can bake all in this thing.
That is awesome. So you probably use it a lot.
Yes. And I use my famous stove a lot too for my Marci's Keeping It Cooking cookbook. Still got to spice it up with both.
Oh,
things.
yeah.
And then I also, this is when I listen to my music. Alexa, play One Last Time by Ariana Grande.
One Last Time by Ariana Grande from Spotify.
See, it's playing my song, and I grew to it while I'm cooking. Alexa, stop. Okay, Alexa, give me a recipe for cheesecake.
Okay, for cheesecake, here's a few recipes.
See, I like my cheesecake.
Look at
It
that.
gives me recipes.
So let's say you were going to pick one. What do you just try to look at the pictures and see what looks good to you?
Yes.
So then let's say you picked one of those. How do you actually get the recipe?
I just look on here.
Can you show me?
Okay, let me see. I haven't did it in a while. See?
So that tells you the whole thing right there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I also make popcorn shrimp.
Oh, that sounds excellent.
Alexa, what's the recipe for popcorn shrimp?
Okay, for popcorn shrimp, here's a few recipes.
See, here's a few recipes. I just got started cooking popcorn shrimp, and I wanted to try something new.
Mm.
So what I do is I go get it and I put it in my air fryer in here and prop it. And I also like to make steak fries. So I get a bag of steak fries and put it in here and make it up in a nice quick meal when you don't want to cook. But I really like to cook Chinese food.
Mm.
So this is what I use for the Chinese food.
You do that on the stove?
Yes. But when I'm here, I always have a provider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now, you're starting to make me a little hungry talking about all this food.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting hungry again. I don't know about you, but you mentioned tacos, and today's Tuesday, right? Taco
Yes,
Tuesday.
and I'm making chicken tacos today.
Wonderful.
Either chicken or enchiladas.
All right. So next thing in your tech recipes here is your MedMinder, right? So this was something when we visited that I didn't know you were going to show me, but you did, right?
Yeah, I had a secret flavor and a surprise for you.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to stir it up for you, George.
I appreciated that. I've seen some medication dispensers, but I've never seen one quite like this one. So we've got a little video where you showed me how this works and how you use it.
All right, yeah.
So this is your med minder. Show me how this works.
So when it's time for me to take my meds, I take them morning and night. In the morning I would get it. I would take the box out, the pill box out, and put it so I can take it. Then at 6 o'clock I take my other medicine, I put it out, and then my evening meds, and I take that. And so I take just one at night, a couple at night, and like one in the morning.
Okay.
And it also lights up. It's not lighting up right now because it's not time to take it.
So do the compartments light up? Is that how it works?
Yes.
Okay.
Whenever it's time, it goes. And then it goes, Marci, it's time to take your meds.
All right. And so, like, let's see. Today's Friday. So what time will that one light up?
6 o'clock.
Okay, so at 6, this whole thing will like light up and it'll talk to you.
Yeah.
Then can you open these at any time?
Yes.
You could if you wanted.
Yeah.
So it's not like locked or anything. Because I know some of the medication dispensers are actually locked until people need the medication.
I did that, but the weirdest thing, it kept on locking on me, and I couldn't get my medicine out. So I would call my remote support at 8 or 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I can't get the medicine out.
Now, could they unlock it remotely at least?
No.
Oh no, they had to send somebody over?
Well,
Yeah.
my remote support provider, what he did was I had FaceTime on my iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do it, and so he showed me step by step and showed me like a way to open it from here.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I could get my medicine like that, so another remote support provider doesn't have to come.
Yeah. Well, this sounds like a system that makes way more sense for you anyway. I mean, you don't need those things to be locked.
Nah.
It's not like you're going to take the wrong one. You can see when it lights up and get the right ones out of there.
So we were trying to do that, so me and my team, we all agreed that I didn't need it locked. So it's much easier to handle.
Good.
And it works remotely, and you can take it with you.
Oh, yeah? So this was plugged in before, right?
Yeah.
And then, so it's got a battery in it?
Yep. This is really, really cool. I mean, this is like, it's helped me a lot with my medicines and everything, and keeping on track and getting everything, all my meds together, and don't have to worry about like a whole bunch of bottles, taking it. It's all in one.
Right. I could see how that would help.
All right. Then we had one more little surprise when I got to visit you, right?
Yeah, this was a
Showed me your
surprise,
TV.
George. I didn't even know some of this was cooking up in the closet. So let's show them the fire cube and get this popping.
Okay. So here's a short video of the cube.
Amazon Cube.
All right. And what does it do? Is this your TV?
Yeah, like, it's not like a smart, not like Alexa TV, but you can say Alexa and it comes on. It can even play my music from Spotify.
Here's what I found.
See? Comes on. And the TV's not even on.
So can you talk to it and turn on the TV?
No.
Does it just control what
It
channels
just-
you see?
It controls it controls like channels and stuff like that.
Okay, and if it's a smart TV, so that's kind of like it's like a version of the Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is how I do it. Okay. Here
Okay.
I'm watching the news, the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go like this. Then I use this.
So that's the remote for the cube.
See? And I can watch Amazon TV. And everything. And then when I want to get to my other channels, I can.
So that's Amazon. You have Amazon Prime. So that's
Mhm.
Prime Video.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
like I have Prime Video. And I can watch my movies.
So could you talk to the cube and have her pull up something?
No, it doesn't do anything. It just does that. That's all that I know
Huh.
of it.
Alexa, pull up remote support videos on YouTube.
Getting that from YouTube.
I learned something new.
Look at that.
I did not know that.
There you go. Remote support videos.
Wow.
You got to try that. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I have to tell the boss man, even though he probably knew that.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
All right, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was fun. George, you know what? You need to be on my blog because you just created a new recipe. I mean, I didn't even know that before.
And did you try that after I got to visit you?
I did.
All right. Okay. So there's your recipes, right? You want to
Yep.
wrap up here? You know, maybe folks could use some of those or all of them.
Can anyone use these?
Yeah.
They have special flavors to them.
All right. Very cool. All right. So, guys, we are done with the presentation portion of our event today. So from here on out, it is questions, comments. For you guys, if you have questions for Marci about anything you saw or anything anything else you want to ask her about, or just you want to talk about the way you use technology in your own life, we would love to hear from you. Some of you wrote some questions in when you're registered, and we'll take a minute and bring those up as we go too. So let's see. We don't have anything in Q&A right this moment. We do have some folks raising their hand. Look who's first.
Hi,
It's our good
everyone.
friend, Nathan Turner.
My name is messed up, so I apologize for that.
Oh, okay.
I just had something very quickly that I wanted to say to Marci. First of all, great job with the videos and the presentation. You're always so excellent and refreshing and just yourself, and I'm so proud of you. But
Thank you.
I wanted to say, oh, I appreciate it. I wanted to say that you, Marci, have inspired me to really look at how I can use remote supports. I know in the beginning of this process, I've always said that people with physical disabilities are going to use remote supports a little bit differently, but you really encouraged me to look into ways that the electronic thermostats, light bulbs, and other home automation tools can really benefit me in my life. So it just goes to show that we all learn from one another in our experiences, and it's so valuable. So thank you for that. I really appreciate you. And my question to
if
you,
you need any help with it, I'm more than willing to help you. We're all
yeah,
here.
we'll definitely
together as
connect.
Tech Ambassadors.
We'll definitely connect, Marci. My question to you is, was your waiver able to cover any of the oh goodness, what is it? Your air fryer. Did the waiver cover that? And secondly, if you had an unlimited budget for remote supports, what were some of the things that you would get for yourself?
Great.
The air fryer did not come from my remote support. I got it for myself around Christmas time because I wanted to try something new in my cooking. And what was your other question?
If you didn't have to worry about money for remote supports, what types of remote support or technologies would you want to have to help you live more independently in your home?
I would want some, I would want well, I have all the stuff that I want. I already have an iPad and an iPod, but the things that I got from my remote support, they just put icing on the cake.
So you're all good? You don't have any wish list for things that you don't have?
Well, take that back. I would like to have Alexa thinga, the microwave, and the Alexa TV.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, we were just in a meeting yesterday afternoon where we heard someone mention a version of the Alexa show that I had not heard about, where it's motorized. And, you know, that was the device that you were demonstrating in your kitchen, right? That was playing the music for you and showing you recipes.
Yeah.
Apparently they came out with a new version of that where the screen is motorized and it can follow you around the room. So I don't know.
And I
Okay.
think, Marci, you'll find that if you do get a dedicated Alexa Fire TV, you'll be able to have more functionality and do more things.
Yeah, I think you would like what George was talking about too.
Yeah, I would say this about the Alexa TV. My experience with it so far has been that you needed to use the remote in order to voice operate it, like we demonstrated, and you had to press a button on the remote. So I kind of liked the Cube a little better because you didn't really need to find the remote in order to voice control the TV. But you know what? I wasn't over there for all that long, so you know, maybe the Fire TV would be.
I like them all. Like I said, I have remote support. I have remote support providers. I learn about different things at conferences. So everything that assists with technology, I usually like.
All right.
Because it's a new adventure for me.
All right. Perfect. Well, Nate, thank you very much for coming on, and we appreciate you participating.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. Who's next? We got some more folks raising their hands over here.
We have George coming on.
Oh, our friend George.
Asking him to unmute.
George has visited us on several of our events, and he already kind of prepped me for what he wants to ask about. It's a really, really cool technology. I'll tell you what, he may join us in a second. I'm going to go ahead and mention this technology because he actually made me aware of it. It's called Voice It. And this is an app. From what I was able to determine when I did a little research on this, it's soon to be released on Apple devices. So you can get it on iPads, iPhones. There he is. Hi, George. Welcome.
Hi. Yeah.
Talk about Voice It, George?
Yeah. I email someone and they will send me information to my email soon because I will get it soon because I want to talk to people.
Yeah, that is awesome. So what this application can do, from what I understand, it integrates with Alexa, and it aids in helping people with unique speech patterns. It understands those patterns, and it learns the way people speak. And in all kinds of non-standard ways. It could be people with a heavy accent from having spoken another language, people with a disability, and it will allow them to voice control like, anyone else. So, I mean, that is potentially really, really life-changing for some people. I also signed up to get on to list for when they release this app. I believe it's supposed to happen in May, because I'm very anxious to get a hold of that and test it out. It sounds super, super cool.
I keep people work and kind of kids. Yeah. I am so happy.
Yeah. And you know what? I hope you'll check back with us if you actually get that app, George, and you get a chance to use that. I
Yeah.
would love to hear how that goes for you.
I will get my information about the app, and I will send the information to.
Awesome. We appreciate that. Thank you very much for bringing that up. That is a super cool app, and we're excited for you. We hope you get a chance to try that out.
Yeah.
Thank
All
How Marci?
What'd you say?
He's saying hi.
Hi. We're on the same We Thrive Together advisory board, aren't we?
Yeah, we're so funny. We're so funny.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, George, thank you very much.
I know Marci for a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah? You guys
Yeah.
have known each other for a little bit?
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Thanks again, George. We'll see you.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Who else do we have coming on? Ashley?
Yeah. Hey, Marcy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Hey, I have a question for your, I live in an apartment, and, pretty much everything here is set in stone of, how everything's set up. But is there any installation or install thing for the, thermometer,
Oh, for the thermostat?
thermostat? Yes.
Well, this is what it was with me. My remote support staff installed it for me.
Yeah.
So if you get remote support, your remote support staff can install it in for you with your technology stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great point.
And I'm always looking for new stuff to make me more independent. I'm wheelchair bound, and I just found a coffee maker that actually you could pour the coffee beans actually in without grinding them, and it grinds it. You just push a button and it grinds itself. Because I usually make a mess doing from the transfer from it being grounded to putting it in the coffee maker. So to make it whole beans, to be able to pick it up, because I also have eyesight issues, and I can pick up the whole coffee bean and put it in there. If I dropped it, I could just put it in the coffee maker and it grinds itself.
That is
Yeah.
super cool.
It's called the, I'm probably gonna chop this up, but it's SBOLY, Solby, I think it's called.
Okay.
Supply, yeah. So
Great. Hey, I'll add one quick footnote, Ashley, on the thermostat question, because I've
Yes.
had the opportunity to actually install one of these before. The
Mhm.
really neat thing about many of these new smart thermostats is they will connect right into the heating and air conditioning system that you already have in your home in most cases. So
okay, That's
have
what I
to-
was wondering. Like, do I have to take off what I already have to, what's on your wires or anything like that? Like
Yeah,
complicated stuff.
in my experience, there were some wires back there, but it was easy enough that I could just take the old thermostat off and look at a diagram they gave me and know what wires to connect to the new one, and then put it right on. So your remote support staff would definitely be able to
Yeah,
handle it.
I don't have remote support staff, so I didn't know, like, if I could have done it myself or whatever. And so,
Well, let me ask this. Do you think waiver dollars would pay for this for you, Ashley, or would you be buying it on your own?
I would probably, I don't know. I would have to ask my SSA on that. I have the self waiver.
Okay. So I think it would be very likely that, and of course, your SSA is going to be the expert on this and connect you with other people who are experts. If that's covered by your waiver, even if you don't use remote supports, you could still have one of those companies come in and do that installation for you and train you on how to use the new thermostat. So that's good to know.
Yeah, because like where it's at, like I could see it, but like, you know how it illuminates like a green color, and then when it illuminates, you can't exactly see it from a certain angle. Like, you know how when something is illuminated, you can hardly see what's in the illumination of the color. So that's my issue. Is like I'm sitting down here and the thermostat's up here, so I can only see like half the number of what I put. So and that's
Marci,
cool that you can work it from your phone too. Like if you're in bed.
Yep. And Marci, your waiver covered that, right?
Yeah, my waiver covered it. And it's like one next to the Alexa, that's one of the best things that I like about it. Because I don't worry about my staff, like my staff leaving like, wait, hold on, I didn't remind staff to turn off the thermostat. Now I can do it independently and do it from my phone and see the numbers bigger, because it's hard for me to see the small numbers.
That is great.
I took the thing down to show you. See, you could just put the beans in there, and then it just grinds it.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about it. The only mess you have to worry about is getting it from when it's wet, getting it from point A to the trash can.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for showing us that, Ashley.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I think we are going to let's take a quick second. We're going to run a poll here. We haven't done one of those yet. So especially for those of you who have not come to one of our events before, we definitely want your input on this poll. I'm going to go ahead and launch this. This has two questions. It is about technology barriers. Okay. So we have two questions here. The first is, what is the biggest barrier to people with developmental disabilities attending events like this one that we're having today? This is the heart of what our Tech Ambassador program is all about, is reaching those individuals and their families. So we want to know if there are barriers that you guys think are there. And then the second question is, what's the biggest barrier to people with developmental disabilities using technology in their life? And so we put some potential things down there for you all to choose. And if you've come to one of our events before and already taken this poll, that's fine. Please feel free to give us your input. But especially if you have not, we really, really would like to have input from as many of you as we can. And we are compiling all these results. We may share these results with you at our wrap-up event later on in May. All right, I'll just read these questions one more time. What's the biggest barrier to people with developmental disabilities attending events like this one? And then what is the biggest barrier to people with developmental disabilities just using technology in their lives? We'll leave that up for just a minute. And I'm going to read a question that someone wrote in for Marci. All right. So this one comes from Jeremy Bellamy. And the question is Alexa easy to use?
Alexa is easy to use, except when it says stuff when you don't want it to say it, and when you don't want it to talk, they don't mind their business. Otherwise than that, it's straight. It's cool. But sometimes you gotta keep Alexa in line.
Yeah, you demonstrated, I think the biggest secret, right? If she's doing something you don't want her to do, what do?
You just
Alexa,
tell her.
stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good question. Let's see. Here's another one from Christiana Hildebrand on technology for children on all ranges of autism spectrum. So this one was a little bit hard for us. It's a very, very broad question. So I just thought I would offer, Christiana, if you're here and you want to come on with us and maybe describe in a little bit more detail what you were asking about, we would love that. And it looks like we have someone else we recognize joining us.
There's
It's
Chris.
Chris, everyone. Another one of our tech ambassadors.
What you got
All
for
right.
me today, Chris?
You made me hungry.
Made you hungry?
Yeah.
You got any cookies for me? Some recipes? I know you do.
Not at the moment, but I'll get you some. But anyway, my question is, why did you get the air fryer? And how easy would it be if somebody that is totally visually impaired, or maybe that can't use their hand very well? So how would you recommend that to somebody like that? How easy is it for them would be to use?
For the air fryer?
Yeah.
Well, the number one thing you had said, the first one, what is it? Why did I get it?
Yeah. Why did you get it? And how sensible is it that if somebody totally blind that wanted to get one, or somebody that has a limit use of their hand?
Well, one of the reasons why I got the air fryer is I wanted to do something new with my food, and it makes the chicken tender, and it gives a special taste. And for your other question is, you can have your staff help you, and that can help. So I can't see little things, so my staff helps me with the little parts. But yeah, talk to your service coordinator and your remote support and your HPC providers, and maybe they can get you some providers in there that you just want them to help you with the air fryer.
Okay, let me ask one more question. So does it require oil? Just in case that somebody, how is it easy to put Braille on it if there oil in it? So somebody that is totally blind or has a limit hand motion, pull it out and maybe get burnt. So does it take oil, or is it just?
I don't know. I mostly just use mine and like put the chicken in there to unthaw, put the French fries in there, the shrimp. But some of the other stuff I have not got to that yet because I don't use it all the time. But I'm not an expert and stuff. Maybe George, do you know?
I had one for a little bit, and my understanding of it is that you substitute air for oil. So generally, I think you might be able to put oil in when you cook certain things, but generally you're gonna, if anything, maybe just kind of spray a little bit of oil on the food, and you don't have a bunch of oil that it has to go down into, so it wouldn't be as dangerous probably from that.
Yeah, it's like you take, like I seen one of my staff member one time. You take the little part of the oil and you just put a drip on the chicken You don't put a lot, but you just put a drip, like a little tiny thing. And then you put it in the air fryer. And then so you know how with chicken, you have to wait for it to unthaw? Well, with the air fryer, you put it in there and it unthaws itself, and then you start the cooking and it cooks.
Okay, I have just a last question. So your medicine box. So let's just say we're gonna go on vacation to South Carolina. We're gonna stay there for 2 weeks. So I saw that you can unplug it and take it with you, but what happens if the battery dies? So what do you do then?
Well, with mine, it's just it's not locked, and you can just open it. But I can tell you one thing that this MedMinder company, the pharmacy who gave it to me, they also send me the medicines. When I was going on Christmas break, they have a travel kit that has all your medicines and what time you take it, and you can put it in your bag, like if you're traveling on an airplane or in a car, and if you don't want to take the machine.
You've got that little box, but you got the big box at home to remind you to take your medicine. So
Right.
you take this little, if you take this little box on with you, let's just say that I have a hard time remembering things. And so there's going to be days that I miss my medicine if I don't remember it. So how are you going to remember it if it's in this little box, but your big box is at home yelling at you, take your medicine? So how are you going to use your little box to remind you? Because, we can see our box sitting on the table with our medicine, but we get distracted and we go get a cup of coffee. Oh, it's been hours now that I forgot to take my medicine. So does it beep for you, the little box that you take with you?
I don't think so, does it?
They call me when it's time for me to take my medicine.
Oh,
So
They call you?
yeah, they
Okay.
call.
That's
They'll
perfect.
They'll go,
That's
Marci,
awesome.
it's time to take your medicine.
Perfect.
But
That answers my question.
yeah,
It's a good solution.
yeah, they say it's time to take your medicine. But like I said, I didn't take when I went on my vacation because it was my first big vacation since COVID started and since I got the machine. And so that when the pharmacy sent me that kit, because I didn't want to carry it in my suitcase, it would have been too much weight.
Yeah.
Because it was just a small trip. So from that reminder and my provider telling my aunt how the medicine, how my medicine works and how to get it out of the container on it and all the doses that I'm supposed to take, my aunt also helped me with that too. So you have the medicine MedMinder to call you, and then you can have a family member or a friend that you're visiting help you.
So you had plenty
Okay,
of
well,
support.
thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
thank
like
you.
when,
All right.
so like when it was in small letters. So my aunt
Thanks, Chris.
seen it and she helped me with it and gave me the medicine. So
Awesome.
all those things, just talk to MedMinder and pharmacies. They'll give you different things. It depends on the person too.
All right, perfect. All right, I've got one more question that was written in advance here. I want to make sure that we mention. This came from Jody Collins. So this is about practical technology ideas that encourage independence in activities of daily living tasks, completion, error correction, etc. And you've got so many tech devices that you use, Marci. I know the first thing that occurs to me when I hear that. Is there anything that jumps out to you?
What that out of the
Just
device?
helping you like complete everyday living tasks.
my Alexa, it helps me with the weather. It helps me with the timer when I'm timing something. My
Mhm.
portal, it helps me because I get to talk to my Facebook friends, and if I'm alone or something, get lonely. And then my remote support staff that's on there, I can talk to them about different things too.
Yeah, perfect. And I think you touched on the one thing that I had thought of was there's so many of those different types of devices that can function as a reminder. So if it's someone who just needs a little support with completing tasks, right, you could have Alexa remind you to do something in a particular day. You know, we were just talking about your med minder, so that's a reminder to take your medication. And we can have other types of technology remind us of when it's time to do whatever. You know, time to go for a walk and get some exercise, time to take a shower, any of those.
Yeah, I really like the Alexa too.
All right. So we've got one more hand raised here. I think this might be someone else we recognize.
Let's see.
It's
Hey,
Tanner.
Marci.
Hi,
Tanner,
Tanner.
welcome.
It's one of my other Tech Ambassador friends.
Yeah.
I'm getting all kinds of treats today.
Yeah. My question was for you and George, because I, like, in my apartment, they have an older wall mounted unit, and
The
it's
thermostat, right?
yeah, and it's basically it's in the ADA unit, but it's not ADA friendly. So I've been trying to figure out a solution to that, to where, like, when Lauren moves in, we both can, like, control it. And I wasn't sure if, like, if I would put like a reasonable accommodation for the Nest thermostat, if that could be something that they could maybe put in with it under HUD regulations, where it's got to be, like, wired in.
Yeah, I think that now, you know, I just put one in my home about 2 years ago, and my home's
Yep.
almost 20 years old. So it was very easy for me to just disconnect the other thermostat, put another one in. My guess
Okay.
is that, you know, any thermostat breaks, even if you were to replace it with a traditional one, it has to have a way to disconnect and reconnect,
Yeah.
right? So I'm guessing that the Nest would probably work in your apartment. Obviously, you know, you need to talk to your the people that run the apartment
Yeah.
and that type of thing.
Okay.
But I also think that many of these companies are very good about taking a return if you were to buy one and somehow it didn't work.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Okay.
Tanner, like I said, like with mine,
Yep.
like when I moved in, it was like this very, very old thermostat. And like it had like tiny little numbers and stuff like that, and just couldn't see it. And
Yeah.
so, like I said, my staff was always there and they did it for me. But I
Yeah.
wanted to have a little bit of independence and see it for myself and learn how to do it. So when my provider installed that for me, that was like going to Disneyland because I don't have
Yeah.
to send little letters anymore. Yes, I won the lottery.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So also, like when you do it, when you take your old thermostat out, put
Yeah.
it somewhere. Like I have mine in my heating water tank in my apartment, and in the little room, I have it in there so when I move out, my remote support staff can put it back in for whoever moves in next.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah, so when you get it, keep it because you never know when you're going to move out.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect point to make because you're going to want to take that with you. Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
because they like the one that I have, or the one that's here, is it runs out to the wall. It runs out through the wall, and I don't know if they're like, I don't know exactly if it's able to be removed or if it just would need to be like unplugged to be able to like not like to like replace the Nest with this, but keep this in the apartment itself.
Yeah, I think they all just disconnect.
Okay.
That would be my guess. But you know, you might have to come back on one of our other events and let us know if you check it out, how that worked out, Tanner.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for that question. Let's see, you got
And
one
if you need,
more
and if
thing
you
in our
need help,
Q&A.
if you need help with it, Tanner, I'll help. I can help you and give you the resources how to get the company that can help you install it.
Perfect. All right, let's see. I don't see anything more in Q&A, and I do not see anybody raising their hand, and it is 10:59. Anything you want to leave our folks with today, Marci, before we go?
Well, I want to say thank you for coming to my presentation. I hope you can use some of these technologies to help you be independent and have a good life because technology is so important and it makes you feel really good and it can just change your life and make it better and make a new chapter for you in your life. Like technology is the new chapter of my life. I was with the project, I'm with Project Stir, but the technology is the new icing on the cake. I'm still stirring up and mixing them all together.
That is awesome. That is, and thank you, Marci, for being such a good example of somebody who, you know, integrates technology into just as many parts of your life as you can. This is one of the privileges that we have of living in the time that we live in, right? So
Yes.
that's super great. So I just want to make sure I say thank you to all of you who came. Thank you for your questions and your participation today. Thank you to our other core team members who always help us put on these webinars. Thank you to our ASL interpreters who always do such a wonderful job. And another really big thanks to Marci for being here and doing such a great job hosting today. You guys all have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And if you want, come back and see us next week. I believe we're going to have Robert Shoemake on in Southwest Ohio. All right. Everybody have a wonderful day. Bye.